Good morning. How is your routine? How are your habits? And how are they attached to your future goals? Are they attached or are they separate? Are they the kind of patterns and routines that are getting you closer there? Or are your patterns and routines actually taking you further away? I want to encourage you that no one decision you make, and I'll probably talk about this in a future video, but no one decision you make has a crazy impact on your life. No one decision. It's always a confluence of decisions, many decisions put together. And what a routine is an unconscious, it starts off as a conscious decision, but it becomes an unconscious routine, a habit that influences you toward your goals or away from your goals. So if you wake up at, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the afternoon every day, that's probably not conducive to most businesses. You might have a different business, okay? So I don't want to judge too harshly. Most business owners are getting up really early. Employees can get up whenever it works for them, but business owners get up early. Another routine that either helps you or not is what are your eating habits? What are your exercise habits? What are your thinking patterns? What is your morning routine? What is your evening routine? What is the routine that you go through when you meet a new client? What is the routine that you go through when you are onboarding an employee? All of these are routines that we need to understand because either they take away from us or they help us. I'll give you a really quick example. I own some property, and when I rent out property, I have a routine that I go through with every single person that looks at that property. And I don't judge them based on their race or their age or their whatever it is. I'm judging them based on what I believe their character is. That's my routine. So I have a routine where when I call them and I ask them specific questions. Then when after I've asked them specific questions, I invite some people to look at the property. When I look at the property, I have a routine of asking them lots of questions while they're viewing the property. I'm getting to know them a little bit, seeing how they answer different questions. Then after that, I've got a routine of handling the references that they've handed and other things. And I do this in a consistent way every single time. What this does is it gives me fantastic tenants. I'm connecting with the best tenants consistently. I've even got a routine of when I show a property. It's usually 2 months before it's available on the open market because that gives me a different group of people than last minute people, generally speaking. So I've got this routine. Now, most investors that I'm training, they don't have this routine, and what happens is they've got all these what they call terrible tenants. It's that they haven't done what they need to protect their own property. So their routine, or the lack of a routine, actually, well, it isn't a lack of routine. Their routine is to simply give it to whoever that works at the moment, or whoever gives the check at the first, or whatever it is, and that routine gets them into a lot of trouble. So here's the question. Again, look at your routines. Diet, sleep, exercise, work, calls, sales, marketing, systems in your business. What are you doing for that time? Because what happens is that, again, this is a part of a routine. Our brains are gas guzzlers when it comes to fuel. They burn up so much fuel. And if you have to think about every decision that you make, that's going to run you down and you're going to be so tired by the end of the day. What a routine does is it offloads something from your conscious brain, the brain that's working and consuming a lot of energy, and it takes that pattern, that action, to our subconscious mind, where we just kind of operate on autopilot. Have you ever driven for a while and you get to your destination and you realize, for the last 2 hours, what was I doing? I don't even remember the trip. You can drive automatically because of how many times you've done it. I don't encourage you to close your eyes. I don't encourage you to do crazy things while you're driving, but that's something that our bodies can do, our minds can do. In the same way, when you have a routine in the morning where you get up at a certain time, you do a little bit of exercise, you move your body, you enjoy some healthy fuel for your body, you invest in your mind so that you're ready for the day. When you do all those things, whether it's meditation, whatever it is, when you do all of those things, what you're doing is you're setting up a pattern that you don't have to think about a lot, but you can still engage in. It still has a ton of value that's going to set you up towards your goal. So here's a question I want you to ask right now. And this is one of the action steps I'm going to give you today. The action step is look at your goals and ask yourself, what are the routines? What are the things that I can do every day that are going to help me get there? For Jerry Seinfeld, it's that he writes a joke every single day. For Stephen King, I've read that he writes 2,000 words every day, no matter what. What is it that you can do every day that will get you closer towards your goal in business? It's an imperative question, a really, really important question. Okay? Another action step that I have for you is to remind yourself, and this is going to be, as you go through this routine, that this might be a little bit difficult. That's okay. Reach out to me if you need some help with this, okay? But what I want you to do is remind yourself that in the beginning of every routine, it's difficult because it's more conscious. When you first were tying your shoes, now, when's the last time you thought consciously about tying your shoes? Well, I gotta put the bunny ear around this and loop. You don't think about that most of the time. When's the last time that you really focused on pulling your vehicle out of your parking spot, your garage? When's the last time you consciously thought about, I don't know, walking? Walking is a routine. It's a skill that we developed over a period of time. You fell lots on your way to learning it, and yet you're pretty proficient at it now, most likely. Speaking your native language, your first language. That's another thing that you were awful at it for a very long time. My 8-year-old still struggles with the English language. And yet he's learning, and it takes years to do it, but now we do it quite well. It's become a routine. We don't have to think about it. In the same way, the routines that you're creating for your morning, your evening, your exercise, your business, whatever it is, that's going to become a routine. It's become easier as you do it more. So practice this, do it. Again, if you've got questions, there's so much that I would like to talk about routines. Please let me know, and I'm happy to help you out with that, okay? Enjoy your day.